beautiful people, gods and goddesses, kings and queens. Happy Sunday. This is Kiki coming to you today to send nothing but love, peace, and happiness your way. So, during my travels, I received a spiritual download and took a little leg break and decided to come on and chat with you a little bit. What came to mind is why I do not judge others. Now, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on it, and if you care to know, stay tuned. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to follow me throughout my spiritual journey and watch all of my trials and tribulations and blessings too. I'll just go back a little bit. Before I started my spiritual journey, like I said, I grew up a hardcore Christian in a Pentecostal church, pretty much supported the church day and night on a weekly basis for many, many years. And throughout all of my moves and relocations, every city I went to, I ended up in a church. So that's what some people call church hopping. But I had my experience with that, and I'll say it was a eye-opening. And during that moment in time, the lessons and the information I received was beneficial at that point in time in my life. I say I did a 360. And if you have had a chance to hang around me during my childhood years, then you will understand probably why I did a 360. I did not grow up in the best environment. I received love in more of a tangible way rather than a nurturing emotional way. And I have dealt with the side effects of it, and I am still healing from it. And just taking my little broken pieces and slowly gluing them all back together so I can be more healthier for not only myself and my own children, but also my students that I work with and the society that I, interact with. So why I don't judge others? I'll just kind of throw in a few stories, personal stories that I experienced, right? And it's going to be a little bit mixed in with why I believe honesty is the best policy. Okay, so I'll get to that right after, when I get to the second part of what I need to say. Okay, so I recall early adult years. Growing up, I have had the opportunity to learn throughout the Christian community that when someone or others are not following the Bible or the Bible principles or trying not to be Christ-like, then they're looked down upon. They are not considered pure and what word do they like to use? Reborn enough to be around a certain group of people. So there were cliques formed in the church. We had the sinners that were just beginning to learn about Christ and just beginning to get saved and baptized and going through that process. And then we had the people that were pretty much grandfathered in because either they achieved a role that was passed down throughout the family. Maybe the grandfather was a pastor, and then now he passed the role over to maybe his son, and then so forth like that. So I remember one of my sisters, she was really going through a lot. She did not really know how to navigate life because she was broken emotionally, much like myself. We grew up in the same household, experienced the same things. And when she had her second baby, she had a falling out with the baby daddy, and the baby daddy was just fed up. And he had his own inner issues and his own trauma that I'm aware of. And he decided to cut ties with her. And I'm like, well, dog, they called me over to try to help calm down a dispute that they were having and try to be a mediator. And me thinking, okay, well, I am married and I do care about my sister. So I think I can work it out. So I go over and I find out he taking all her stuff and kicking her out the house, her and his son too, without a second thought, no matter how much I tried to talk him out of it. So I said, it's all good. I got my sister back. I'm going to go ahead and make room for my sister at my house, even though I had just purchased a home at that time. And I really didn't have room for her, but I decided to accept her in, regardless to what she was going through, even though we didn't always see eye to eye, even though she didn't have rent money, she didn't have no light bill money, she didn't have no grocery money. I still made time for her. And I know that she needed me because she was really, really down in the dumps, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, no matter how grumpy she was, because I knew it was hard to face the fact that here you done gave your life, you done gave your body, you done gave your time to some type of guy that wanted to play a role, but then when times got tough, he didn't know how to hang in there. He just gave up. And I didn't really know how to counsel her, because at that time I was still trying to make peace and figure myself out in my own relationship. So whether she knew it or not, my ex-husband now wasn't too happy about her living with us, because he felt like that was an extra financial responsibility on him with trying to maintain the bills, and now things are more expensive because we have an extra mouth to feed. So I really didn't care about the whole fact that, okay, my sister may be running up the light bill, or she might be eating all the snacks or whatever. That's still my sister. And she didn't have anywhere to go, and I wasn't going to put her out on the streets. So I pretty much put my sister before my husband, because I just felt like, okay, we already opening our doors to his daughter. So why, if we're going to look out for family, we're going to look out for family. Now, my stepdaughter, she was going through her own personal issue with her mom kicking her out the house at the age of 10, because her mom didn't even know how to manage and parent her own child. And to me, I felt like the daughter was mimicking a lot of the behaviors that the mama pretty much taught her. So sometimes when we have to look in the mirror, it's hard to, swallow our pride and say, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more gentle and patient, because my daughter is acting just like the way I was. All right, but I digress. So now, through all of that, I say, I never once judged my sister because of the choices she made in men. I never judged her because she wasn't stable, or because she dropped out of school, or because I never judged her for none of that. I never really expected her to pay me back. I just needed a friend out of my sister. I was looking for a relationship that I didn't get from my own mother. So now that the roles have flipped a little bit, now I'm in the same position she's in, because I'm still trying to, get myself situated now that I'm recovering from a very unfair, nasty divorce. I went from, living in my nice home, now I'm staying in a little small spot, trying to squeeze all my kids in one little small spot, and we're just surviving the best way we can. But I will not complain, because I know my ancestors got me, and I know there's a reason I got to go through this process, because sometimes we have to crawl before we walk. Sometimes we got to shed tears before we can smile. Sometimes we got to lose a couple of dollars before we get the big bucks. You know what I mean? So this is why I don't judge people. You never know when a situation that somebody else is in may end up flipping around and you're in that same situation. Even though it was a different process I went through, I still appreciate my situation. I don't blame anyone. I think there are some things that I felt like could have been avoided. I feel like things could have been done differently, but not one time have I called somebody and blamed them or projected my personal issues onto them. Not one time. Now, my sister is now in a better spot. She is now a manager at Department of Children's and Family. Now she lives in a nice home, much like the same home I was living in. And she got herself together. But not one time did I call her and ask her, can I sleep on her couch? Not one time did I ask her for a couple of dollars, because, I don't even know if I have enough money to make it throughout the week. Teachers don't get paid much of anything. And then when you get paid once a month, you really got to know how to budget. That's why a lot of teachers have second and third jobs. But the point is, this is not about making anybody feel some type of way. It's just, I'm trying to turn my story and my experiences into a teachable moment. Never judge anyone based on what they're going through in that time, in that season, because you never know when you be put in that same situation. And, people get judged because they are sluts and they're for the streets, much like how I feel about my ex. But I had to keep in mind that I had to go through a process of trying to find myself and sometimes you go through a period of, okay, I slept with this person and it didn't work out. So I'm gonna go and not heal, and I'm gonna go sleep with somebody else to see if they better and they're a better fit, and it doesn't work out. And then you go sleep with somebody else because you're trying to fulfill a void, and it's not working out. So you pretty much find yourself in the same position. So that's why I said, now that I have went through my spiritual awakening, I know what I want to accept in my life and I know what I won't tolerate. And I will remain celibate until I find the right fit. And I ain't talking about in size. I'm talking about in the mind. I'm talking about in the heart. You know, it's like some people, they try to judge crackheads. You know, I feel like this. When people have different vices that they depend on to cope with personal issues. And see, African-American people have been bred and created to be very sensitive people. We have a unique power, but it's like a weakness at the same time. It's like we're able to show compassion. We're able to give people a chance. But then when we are betrayed or broken or misused or whatever, then it's like now we kind of pass that negative energy on, or we kind of fester in it. So that means if you, like, for an example, this part is not my personal experience, but say if you're a virgin and you sleep with this guy and you're thinking that, oh, he gave you the experience and the time of your life because you've never been touched in that kind of way. And you're thinking that y'all gonna have a long life together. But at the end of the day, you discover that, okay, well, he taking all the other virgins and giving them a good time. And now you're brokenhearted because you thought y'all had an agreement that he was just only going to be faithful to you. So now you are either trying to find rebounds, or you're either trying to just, hide the hurt by just sleeping with a whole lot of different dudes, or maybe drinking the pain away, or getting high and smoking the pain away. You may decide to just say, fuck all men, I'm just gonna sleep with women, the same sex or whatever. And it can go for men too. Men might say, man, fuck all females, I'll just go ahead and get pleased by the same sex. And I'm not saying that's the same case for everybody, but I'm just letting you know that it has happened. I've heard stories about it. So judging people, I mean, listen, I know sometimes we are put in situations where we want to say, that's fucked up for somebody to do something like that. Yes, it is. But now, like I said, when you drop all those old ways of thinking, those old traditional Christian ways of thinking, and you say to yourself, I appreciate the challenge because I know that I'm protected. I know there's going to be a great outcome come from it. Like I said, everything is duality. Good brings in bad and bad brings in good. And so right now, I'm going through a little hard time. But I know for a fact that I got blessings coming up very soon. So that's why I said, judging others will cause your life to be harder. Or gossiping or getting a kick out of somebody's downfall, you never know when y'all might switch spots. And like I said, I never did that to any of my family members. I never, but I knew if you cross me once, I'm not going to take a chance on you twice. Like I knew if I lend you some money and then you come back around and you tell me, oh, I'm going to pay you back, but then you trying to dodge me or you think I forgot. Of course, I'm not going to have no more money for you because you lied and said that you was going to pay me back and you didn't. Now, if you say, okay, can I borrow some money? I'm down right now and I don't really have a way to pay you back. But if I do get a chance, I'll make sure that I contact you. Then that's different. But don't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to pay you back on Tuesday when you done borrowed money from me on Friday. But then now, okay, we ain't going to have that discussion no more. You just can't mistreat people like that because you just never know when you may need them again. So like I said, let's stop judging the people that's for the streets, because like I said in all my other videos, you never know. You might fall in love with one of those sluts, one of those hoes that was for the streets, but they decided to change their life. They decided to probably get saved and don't want to misabuse their body. Maybe they went through a traumatic event where they ended up stuck with some serious viruses and they just don't want to risk their life anymore. So that's what I'm saying. You just never know what you may run into. So it's always good to just either give somebody some uplifting encouragement, give them a helping hand if you can. Don't even entertain the negativity or the gossip that's about the person and whatever they're going through. Another thing, this is another reason why I don't tell lies. Now, I know some people say, nah, you know you don't always be honest. You know you be, because I just discovered when you're on the spiritual journey, all of that gonna be revealed. Like I said, there's many pastors that been preaching for many, many, many years, thinking that their little dirt and their sin, their secret sins will be covered up. And then now, look, there's a lot of people being exposed because of their sinful ways. Whether it got something to do with them being on drugs, whether they had some kind of illegal business going, whether they was a pedophile, whether they was a cheater, whether they are a murderer. Those are things that will get revealed. So to me, I feel like I would rather tell the truth, whether it's embarrassing, whether it hurts, than to sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna keep this a secret because I'm scared somebody might, find out. They're gonna find out anyway. That's just like I said, the world is based on polarity. You tell a lie, the truth got to come out. You tell the truth, hopefully it's a great benefit. Hopefully it's a great benefit. Sometimes it's hard for a man to say, man, I had a weak moment and I fucked around and slept with somebody behind your back. Sometimes it's hard for a woman to admit to that and a man to admit to that. But you know how the divine will set you up when you try to keep that a secret? There was this woman that I was watching on YouTube. All these years, she thinking, oh, okay, I can keep this a secret. I slept around behind my husband's back and accidentally got pregnant, but I'm going to just blame the pregnancy on him. And then she got busted. And he wanted to kick her ass. And I felt the energy, the pain. I felt her pain because she probably didn't know what to do in the situation. And she just had a slip up, weak moment. That's why that's why I try my best to stay away from substances, because that's like demons taking over your body to blur your vision and your decision making. And then, but yeah, things like that will happen. Or another secret where, okay, a man, trying to sleep around on his woman, but then he pretending that he's being faithful, and all of a sudden a woman knocking on the door saying she's pregnant, or maybe, I got an STD, and your man, I'm mad at you because your man got an STD. I mean, like, some women would try you like that, and then come to find out you don't got the STD that he got because he got it from other people, even though he did bring it to you too. So it's like, that kind of fucked up shit that take place in people's personal lives, you just want to avoid all that. You don't want to get caught up in that. So like I said, be honest as much as you can. I know some people say, well, the government, I can't be honest with the government. I'm a fraud because they be lying. No, karma gonna bring all that down. All that lying about the holidays, all that lying about, taxes and taking advantage of people's money, all that's gonna come back. In due time, it's gonna come back. Everybody running to vote for Trump because he's the best choice and the best president. They picking on Biden. They all fucked up in the head. And you're going to see the truth. After a while, he just went over there and started a war. I'm so happy I turned that recruiter down because she kept trying to get my daughters to join the army. And I'm like, shit, my kids ain't finna risk their life for a war that somebody else started. They already fighting a country and lying, saying that everybody over here on their side. Ain't nobody. Well, I like to see how that play out. I don't want to die. I don't want to get off topic too much. But I want to see how that play out. You think I'm gonna go and take up for a government that don't even respect my color and my culture? Hell no. You better get them royal families out the door and put them on a uniform and go out there and shoot and fight for this country. They already took advantage and stole it from us. So why should we go out there and try to help them win a war? Like, that's some BS, boy. People be on some BS. But like I said, to conclude this video, honesty is the best policy. And I walk it like I talk it. And if you don't believe me, it's okay. Because I know who knows my truth. I know where my blessings come from. Let me tell you one more quick thing before I really, really end this. I was in a situation where I was very low on money, but I was comfortable enough to where I needed to get what I needed done. And I was just minding my business, working, and this lady walked up to me and she gave me $100. And no, it may not be a lot to cover all my issues, but it's just a thought that a stranger that I don't know from Adam, not my sister, not my mama, not my daddy, not my cousin, not my ex, a stranger came up to me and said she was pretty much led to to give me the money. And she, felt like I could use it, for me and my family. And she didn't ask me to pay her back. So that's what I'm talking about. When you are doing right by people and you making good choices and you minding your own business, meaning you ain't out there gossiping and picking on somebody else, karma, because your karma might be twice as worse. When you are being good to people, then good things come to you. And that's all I'm saying. So y'all keep that in mind before you make some choices. Be mindful, because the spirits are watching.